Whenever I want?
Yeah.
Cool. So, Jane, welcome to Festival of Education. Thanks for having a talk with us. So I've just got a couple of questions for you guys. I know that you're both heads currently. Jane, you're at Wimbledon High School.
That's right.
And where are you, Jenny?
I'm at St Albans High School.
St Albans High School.
St Albans High School.
Do we need these mics?
Yes.
Apologies.
And so, are they both all-girls school or are they co-ed?
No, yes, they are both all girls schools.
Okay. So how do you think leadership changes according to whether you're at a co-ed school or at an all-girls school or a single-sex school? That
Okay, I think having led a little bit in both, so having been deputy head here, as you know, and then go to a girls' school, I actually think the essence of leadership doesn't change at all.
Okay.
Because the essence of leadership is knowing what you really care about, and then selling that, persuading other people to care about it too, and to get on board and go on that journey with you. And I think, you know, whether you're talking to boys and girls, just girls, that it's always the same. It's the same thing. And certainly if you're ahead, what you're trying to do as well is persuade lots of staff to come with you on that journey. So I don't think it matters so much whether it's co-ed or single sex. I think what does really matter though, and I said this in the talk we've just done, is that there is a synergy of values, so that what you care about is what the school cares about, and that works. Yeah. So your heart's got to be in the right place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with that. I would just add though, I think the separate and possibly additional challenge is that, particularly for women, so you know, if you're in a girls' school, you know, you have got a lot. You're managing a staff which very often is, you know, has more women in it, and there's a lot more juggling, and also, and I think this is absolutely crucial. You know, the key element of confidence and building that confidence, both in the women's staff, to believe in themselves as leaders, and absolutely crucially in the girls too, and to make sure that's sort of modelled everywhere. And I've like Jane, I've had leadership and taught in you know, boys' schools, girls' schools, and mixed schools, and what I've really noticed, you know, boys are fantastic, girls are fantastic, but I think being comfortable with the notion of becoming a leader, just using that term, seems to sit more comfortably with boys at the moment, and that is obviously ludicrous. So I think there is still work.
I think that's quite interesting, because my experience is that in a girls' school, because inevitably in a girls' school the girls are going to lead, because you know, if in any pupil leadership it's going to be girls leading. So my sense is that it is more taken for granted that they're going to be happy leading and do a really, really good job. I don't think the issue is so much with pupils. I think the issue is more with persuading staff to step up. I think, you know, getting staff, particularly getting really talented young women, to think, I want to go into senior leadership, or I do want to be ahead, can be really tough, and that's because they've got, you know, really practical, you know, pragmatic issues to do with when, you know, how you fit that with
babies,
having a family, managing all of that, and I'm going to be talking about it at 2:00 actually. So
really?
Come to my talk. But you know, that, and those are real issues. And of course, the world is changing a little bit, and there is more sense that, you know, bloke's going to help out with that, and there's no reason why the woman can't be the dominant wage earner and all that stuff. But you're still going against the kind of cultural norms, and when you do that, you're pioneering, and pioneering is hard work and can be challenging. Yeah. But I suspect you're going to be a phenomenal. Well, you already are, Lucy, a phenomenal leader.
See what happens.
What is your sense? What is your sense of it?
Of female leadership?
Yeah.
I think it's definitely changing. I do feel as if people sometimes expect female leaders, well, particularly because obviously I'm constantly being compared to a male leader, because there's a male and a female head of college.
Yeah, and sorry to interrupt, but is the male leader constantly being compared to you?
Yeah, I think definitely.
But exactly, that's my point. You're in the perfect position then to say, because I think you're right, Jane, that, you know, in a girls' school, all the leadership roles, of course, are girls, and they're absolutely brilliant. I think it can be more of a challenge. Where I've noticed it change is when in co-ed leadership positions and opportunities, as you say, the leadership norms tend to be a bit more male. Yeah. And so, you know, carving your toes, you're absolutely doing fantastically. But does that feel right?
Yeah, 100%. And I've always been very keen on that, and trying to kind of forge away a bit more and try and make it more as equal as possible. So then you're both you're both women who obviously come from the same family, and so where, as you can see, so where is it? Do you think that you were inspired by your family to become teachers, and do you think that there perhaps is a familial trait of teaching that families can go into teaching together, and that perhaps other families don't do that?
I've just got to answer that, because I totally believe that. I think it is completely vocational.
Really?
And I do, the number of teachers on my staff who came from teaching families is astonishing.
Yeah.
I'm always amazed by that. And I think there's two reasons for it. One, because it is frankly the best job in the world.
Yeah.
So if you've seen people doing it, enjoying it,
then you want to do it.
You kind of, you suck that up like mother's milk.
Yeah.
And the second thing is that the rhythms of the year that you get so used to.
Yeah.
Obviously, you get used to it as a child going to school.
Yeah.
But you've also seen it in adult, in your adult parents, and I think that also is quite a hard, it becomes kind of hardwired in you.
Absolutely.
The long summer holiday. I mean, really. But I would say two things on that. Firstly, both my sister and I spent most of our childhood, or certainly most of our teenage years, saying, "Well, don't know what I'm going to do, but the last thing I'm going to do is teach English," because we both our parents are English teachers.
Right.
So we were really clear that's what we were not going to do. And the second thing I would say is, as Jenny said, it is in fact the best job in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to quick anecdote on how I got into teaching in the first place.
Yeah.
It is Jenny's fault entirely. So I was working in a marketing company in London, and I was doing some interesting, well, not that interesting, analytical work on British Midland air figures. And anyway, I was working away at them, and I got a call from Jenny saying she was about to teach King Lear in half an hour, and did I have any interesting ideas? So I talked to her, and I literally put the phone down. And I had this Damascus moment of, oh my God, someone is paying her to do that. And it was a Friday, and I walked out. I went to the local news station. I got a copy of the TES, and in it there was a little advert for a school called Wellington College, looking for an English teacher. Hadn't really heard of Wellington College, but anyway, I wrote a letter. And the weird thing is, my entire life came from that one moment of writing that one letter on that day. So
can I just say that totally disproves that nothing will come of nothing from King Lear, then, doesn't it? I like to say that King Lear, is
oh yeah. Well, I also like to think that we're not like Goneril and Regan, Jenny, but who knows? Anyway, so do I think the family? Yeah, I absolutely do, and I think I totally agree with Jenny. You get used to the rhythms, and also what you see, what your model in front of you. I mean, our dinner table was full of people who cared about literature, talking about literature. My poor brother, who's a lawyer, but your model is people who really love what they're teaching, love their subject, talking about it, and that is honestly, Lucy, it's it really is a great job. It's a great job, everyone.
So then how do you think it will be best for us to recruit more and more teachers and getting more people interested in becoming teachers?
I think telling this story everywhere is really important.
Yeah.
Pay more. Pay them more.
Pay them more is massively important. Teach first.
Yeah.
Sensationally successful, and quite properly so. And I'm delighted by that. I think more of that kind of thing. And also not, it is, of course there are tough moments, but focusing all the time on what is amazing about that job.
Yeah.
And right from the start, you have an autonomy and an endless excitement day by day, lesson by lesson, and no lesson is the same. And the relationships that you're building in that room are all yours.
Yeah.
And you're leading. Every teacher is a leader. Every teacher is a leader, and that's a very important point. And I'm not sure that is emphasised enough.
Yeah.
But there's all sorts. I mean, it's a very big question, Lucy, because there's all sorts of issues around status, around government policy, around giving teachers, certainly in the state sector, room to breathe and freedom and trusting people. It's a huge question which we can't solve. No. But what we can do is, all of us who are in education and who love our jobs really should, absolute moral obligation to get out there and say, this is a phenomenal job and this is why I love doing it.
Yeah.
Not least because you get to see people like yourself, blossom and flourish and do incredible things.
Yeah.
And there is no, what could be better than that?
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Well, thank you very much, Jane and Jenny, for speaking to us.
You're welcome, Lucy.